you go talk to Commander Barron. I've had enough excitement for one day.
Hey, glad to see you alive. Thanks for sticking your neck out for us. I wanted to tell you that, just in case.
Hey, are you all right? We just got the news about the attack. They're getting closer, aren't they?
Lay still. Don't move.
Thanks for getting us out of there, Sergeant.
Jacob.
How are the wounded doing?
The few that came back, they're doing fine. We patched them up, and at this point we're just sitting and waiting.
You never told me you had a husband.
You never asked.
Did you know each other before the war?
We lived together even before the bombing. I've been dealing with him and his boring stories for over 30 years. I must be getting old, because I wouldn't mind hearing one right now. Back at the camp, I used to think that the machines kept Peter alive to get me to cooperate. So when there was an opportunity to run, we had to take it. And we did. We ran with this little child that I had started to love. I felt that she was mine.
What was her name?
Her name was Taylor. Peter said it sounded too manly, so I said, good, we'll finally have a man in the family. But as you know nowadays, no story has a happy ending. She died shortly after. We buried her, and we stopped talking to each other. Eventually, the Annihilation Line caught up with us. We got separated. I ran away. He did too. At least, I hope he did. That's all.
What's on your mind?
Ever since you asked me about Peter, I can't stop thinking about him. Like a teenage girl. That's your fault, young man.
Are you thinking about anything in particular?
About the day we first met. It was long before Judgment Day. I was getting coffee on my way to school. I noticed him because he was buying tea in a coffee shop. I don't know why, but that made me smile. Maybe it's stupid. Maybe I should stop thinking about him. He's probably dead by now. God knows he can't take care of himself.
Do you want to stay?
I'm happy here. Every soldier that I get up and running is my fuck you to Skynet. So maybe there's no point in thinking about Peter. Anyway, what I didn't tell you before is that during Judgment Day, I lost a child. Our child. I don't know if it would have happened anyway, but I like to blame the machines for that. I think that Peter felt with Taylor we were given a second chance. God, he's still out there waiting for me, isn't he? Probably sitting in his rocking chair back in our house in Hollywood Hills. Oh, where the hell are you, Peter?
Rivers, you want to explain to me what the hell happened?
We lost downtown.
I know that much. But how's that possible? What happened to our defense systems?
Alvin says one of our soldiers came with an order directly from you to reset the target settings for non-lethals.
He said what? Alright. This is what I want you to do. Find whoever is responsible for sending that order. All the messengers have GPS tracking, so we're keeping tabs on their location. Find them and bring them to me.
Understood.
And Rivers, despite what I might say about our resident egghead, I truly have a hard time believing that my men are incompetent. So expect the unexpected. And you know what I mean by that.
Do you think the infiltrator's back?
We won't be sure until you find those messengers and confirm my suspicion.
Now that you mention it,
What?
one of our soldiers said that it looked as if one of our guys led Skynet's attack.
That only supports my case. As soon as you know what's going on, radio me.
Who's Perry? You mentioned him before.
The best soldier I ever fought beside. He was the one who brought me into the Resistance. It's actually a funny story. Years ago, when I was just a kid, I saw a Skynet drone attacking some guy. Without thinking, I grabbed a rock and jumped on it. The guy was screaming the whole time while I beat the metal to the ground. Only when I was done did I realize he was trying to stop me.
Seems you were a tough kid.
Life didn't exactly soften me much. To survive, I embraced the savage it made me. He was a Resistance scientist, and that drone was one of his projects. So you can imagine he wasn't too happy when I smashed it to pieces. But he wasn't alone. There was this huge guy with a rifle on his shoulder, almost choking with laughter. I sure made his day.
That huge guy. Was that Perry?
Yes, it was. Commander Perry was in charge of this division before me. That scientist later told me that was the first time he ever heard Perry laugh. Somehow, Perry and I connected. He taught me how to channel my anger and get it under control. He introduced me to Connor, and that's how I got to the 132nd.
Whatever happened to Perry?
Skynet got hold of our position. We had to leave our shelter. There were a lot of casualties, and he was one of them. He died a soldier. I'd never thought I'd be reminiscing about the day I met them. This may come as a surprise to you, but it was the first metal I ever destroyed.
Sounds like you were late in joining the Destroy Skynet campaign.
Before that, it was people, not machines. But that's a different story.
You want me to break radio silence?
They have a head start on us. At this point, we can't afford to lose any time.
Jacob, you got a minute?
What's up?
I know you're busy, but I found something. Something I think you'll like. A tape from back in the day. I want to play it for you, but my boombox is busted, so if you're out there and find one that works, bring it to me, okay?
Can't you ask Jennifer or one of the other scavengers for help?
I already did, but they couldn't find anything. Just think about it, okay?